Mac and the football team juiced the Cuse in Game 1 of the very odd 2020 season.
The women's soccer team is about to kick off its season looking big gym.
And we take a look at the plight of minor league baseball players in the midst of the pandemic. All that and so much more, Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Football season is back and the Heels hit the ground running. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Kirsten Clark.
And I'm Erin Jenkins. And although fans had to watch from home, many are pleased they saw this weekend. The football Heels high expectation season on Saturday in a high noon showdown. UNC on the board a 12-play touchdown drive led by sophomore quarterback Sam Howell. But the Tar Heels then lost their momentum due to the Cuse's stifling defense, coached by new defensive coordinator Tony White. The Cuse was able to effectively pressure Howell and contain the Tar Heels until halftime. But after the break, the Tar Heels took over. Junior running back Javonte Williams had an outstanding game, leading the Heels with 3 touchdowns and 57 rushing yards. The Tar Heels broke open a tight game to win 31-6, despite their 3 turnovers and 9 penalties.
I thought we probably scored too quickly and felt like it was going to be an easy day, and then had some lapses against a new defense, and they were blitzing and moving all over the place, and we had inconsistencies, and the 2 turnovers really hurt us. And then the second half, we settled down and became the offense that we thought we wanted to be coming into the ball game.
I feel like this game really helped us because it showed us like how football is, and we got back in our groove, and I feel like it's just going to carry over to next week.
Junior running back Javonte Williams carried the momentum over from his stellar 2019 campaign into the home opener on Saturday, and he's our player of the game. Williams was a force to be reckoned with in the red zone Saturday for the Tar Heels, packing a powerful punch around the goal line. After working out some jitters in the first half, Javonte burst onto the scene with 3 touchdowns, all coming in the fourth quarter. Williams proved to be the power back the Heels needed to cap off some long drives in the 31-6 victory.
Carolina's slow start on Saturday brought back bad memories of a pattern Heels fans witnessed in 2019. Last year, UNC outscored its opponents in the fourth quarter of 9 out of 13 games. The first game of 2020 was no different. After only 1 TD in the first half, Carolina was barely maintaining the lead against Syracuse. A major shift in momentum came from a 45-yard run by senior running back Michael Carter, reigniting Carolina in the second half. In the last 4 drives with QB Sam Howell in the pocket, the Tar Heels racked up 254 yards, more than half the total yards gained in the entire game. UNC kept Syracuse out of the end zone, and junior running back Javonte Williams scored 3 unanswered touchdowns in the last 15 minutes to secure the dub. On offense, including 3 turnovers placing the Orange in UNC territory, the defense never let a tenuous lead slip away. Here to walk us through the defensive excellence is football analyst Nick Perlin. Nick?
UNC's offense got off to a slow start on Saturday. The defense, however, was rock solid from the start. UNC's defense was stifling all game, limiting the Orange to just 202 yards of total offense. The Heels controlled the line of scrimmage the entire game. On an early 4th down, Syracuse runs a read option, and it's Tamon Fox blowing up the play, forcing a turnover on down. Carolina put tons of pressure on Syracuse, resulting in 7 sacks. Watch here as the Heels' front 4 is able to get into the backfield. Tommy DeVito slips the first tackle, but Tamari Fox makes the sack on DeVito. Fox had 2 sacks in the game. UNC was great on 3rd down. Syracuse was 4 of 19 on 3rd down conversions. The great defensive play kept Carolina ahead while the offense struggled early on. Late in the 4th quarter, with the game well over, Giovanni Biggers jumps the route and intercepts DeVito to cap an excellent defensive showing for the Heels. If the Heels can keep up this defensive pressure, it will be a long season for opposing offenses. Back to you guys.
That's football analyst Nick Perlin. Thanks, Nick.
A big part of the Tar Heel dominance on Saturday was the solid play on defense, anchored by its secondary. One key player on that defense is Storm Duck, and Grayson Clements tells us his story.
While Duck has been a fan favorite for a while, his coaches have noticed the steps he's taken this offseason and expect him to play an important role during the 2020 campaign.
The kid who's impressed me the most in the entire secondary is Storm Duck. I feel like he can play for about anybody. I think he's going to be an NFL football player.
The confidence and recognition has not always been there for Duck. He was not the highest rated recruit coming into Carolina, but was thrown into a significant role last season due to injuries.
I just wasn't sure in the beginning, right? I think Coach Brown was one of the first ones to recognize the ability in Storm and made it a necessity, made it a need for Storm to play right now.
All of the early playing time and experience, as well as an offseason dedicated to perfecting his craft, has boosted Storm's confidence to reach a new level heading into the 2020 season.
This year, I have a lot of confidence. I feel really good in my technique, my coverage and all that. That's really the main difference from last year with my confidence.
Another big difference for Duck heading into 2020 is he feels more comfortable with the defense and the playbook.
I took the initiative to just get in the playbook a lot more, but that was the first thing. I feel comfortable with any play call that we have, just knowing what to do.
Storm showed his improved comfort and confidence Saturday, shutting down the Syracuse offense with 2 pass breakups and 4 solo tackles, and UNC's 31-6 victory over the Orange. And Chapel Hill?
With one win in the books, UNC faces its lone out-of-conference opponent on Saturday at home. The Heels welcome UNC Charlotte to Kenan Stadium. The 49ers visit Chapel Hill coming off a loss to App State in Week 1. Saturday's matchup will be the first time in program history that the Heels take on the 49ers.
The start of the field hockey season is fast approaching, and Coach Karen Shelton and her team are gearing up for another championship run. This fall season looks drastically different than seasons past, but nonetheless, the Tar Heels are ready to be back in action. The team will be returning 6 starters, including leading goal scorer Aaron Matson and senior goalkeeper Amanda Hendry. The Tar Heels have been training since August and held a team scrimmage on Friday. The team gathered with coaching staff and student referees for an afternoon of competitive fun. Cassie Sunfest is back from injury and ready to get going.
I'm just really thankful that we even have the chance to get out there and have this mini season. A lot of teams are able to do this, and I think it's going to benefit us a lot for the NCAA season coming up in the spring.
Goalkeeper Hendry has anchored the Tar Heels defense in back-to-back national championship seasons. As Ellen Campbell tells us, she's also helping lead the team through the difficulties of 2020.
Getting ready for this season has been harder than ever for fall athletes. With no spring training, learning new ways to train individually was crucial to their success at the start of practice.
It was definitely less field hockey, more just running and stuff, which was definitely a different feel. But I think everyone tried to do the most that they could do.
Heels on 3. 1, 2, 3. Heels! The Tar Heels will be playing an all-ACC competition season, and while every athlete is grateful to be on the field, it can be tough to stay fully motivated in the same way they've been in seasons past.
I think we're looking at it the same, no matter what. ACC is always such great competition for us. So, for us, it's every weekend it's going to be a hard game. And I think we're trying to look at it from that perspective, where yes, we have lesser games, but every game's going to be hard, and we need to treat it as we normally would a season.
With this season being abbreviated, all student athletes are being granted 1 more year of eligibility.
So I get an extra year, but I'm a 5th year already, so I have to think about it kind of. I know there's other people on my team who are 100% want to take that extra year, but I think for me, since it would be a 6th year, I have to I would love to, but I would have to think about it some more. And
one thing she doesn't have to ponder is the desire to extend the team's 46-game winning streak. I'm Ellen Campbell, reporting.
Hendry and her teammates are set to take on the Wake Forest Deacons Sunday at 2 p.m. for their season opener.
The women's soccer team is looking for redemption following last season's disappointing championship loss to Stanford. The team's redemption starts Thursday in Chapel Hill against Wake Forest. The Heels enter the season as the favorites in the ACC, with 3 Tar Heels receiving preseason All-ACC honors. The Heels hope to win their first national championship since 2012 and the 22nd for Coach Anson Dorrance. As the women's soccer team gets its season underway, one of its stars is set to start the next chapter of her career, but not in Chapel Hill. Eva Smolners has the story.
Women's soccer player Alessia Russo has decided to leave UNC to pursue a professional career. The uncertainty of the upcoming fall season and no fall championship in her sport made her decide to leave college earlier than expected.
As soon as the NCAAs were announced that they weren't happening, that's when my decision was kind of solidified and I started to take things to the next level in terms of coming home. But yeah, it's not the way how I wanted it to end, obviously, but UNC is going to be a part of my life forever, and I'm still so grateful that I made the decision to come there in the first place.
The rising senior announced on social media that she signed her first professional soccer contract with England's Manchester United, something she said she has been dreaming about since she was a little kid.
The fact that Manchester United fan, my family, Manchester United fans, the great club, the chance to play with the best players and get better every day and be under some quality coaches. It's so exciting, and to be in this league this year with all top talent is really exciting, and I can't wait until the games go in and to get into it and get fully immersed in the professional environment.
At UNC, Russo scored 20 goals and 9 assists in 3 years on campus. She was named ACC Friend of the Year, the 2008 ACC Offensive Player of the Year, and was a 2-time All-American. However, she wants to be remembered as more than just a soccer player.
You want to be remembered for being a good teammate, being a kind person, not necessarily what you do on the field. So I've changed a lot since I've been there, and I'll be forever grateful for Anson and the program there. So Chapel Hill has a very big place of my heart.
And Heels fans are grateful for her contributions. I'm Eva Smolness reporting.
Russo will look to take her goal-scoring skills from Chapel Hill to Manchester.
The men's soccer team will kick off its season Saturday with an exhibition game in Chapel Hill against NC State. The Heels have to finish third in the competitive ACC South region. Last season, the team had 7 wins, 7 losses, and 4 ties. With the top recruiting class, the Heels are hoping for improved record this year. They kick off the season with away game at Clemson a week from Friday. Given fewer games than normal or postponing your season, which would you choose? Reporter Matilda Marshall tells us for one group of Tar Heels, the choice was
The UNC men's soccer team is facing a very different season, with just 6 regular season conference games. But with many fall sports canceled, junior Alex Murr, who was named to the ACC Players to Watch list for this season, is just happy to be able to play.
Although it's a little shorter and it's going to be different, and there's a lot of new protocols, we're all just super excited that we get to compete and, get to see each other every day in training and obviously playing games again. So it's exciting, but it's going to be different.
This season, the top priority is maintaining a safe environment for play, and much of that is a team effort.
We've had a couple weeks now where no one has tested positive, so we're really excited with that. So I think the team is doing really well on that front. Masks on as we come in and get ready, and just trying to keep separation as much as we can. And I think our team has done a really, really good job of kind of creating that bubble. So we're all really proud of that.
Although COVID has changed much about the players' lives, the bond between teammates has been one thing they've kept very much intact during these unprecedented times.
It's been kind of a trend that we all live together all the time, but, not being able to do many things because of social distancing is tough. We need each other, and that's the biggest thing.
Being a junior and goalie for the team, Smurr has naturally come into a role of leadership and wants to lead his team to a successful season, despite how strange things are. I'm Matilda Marshall, reporting.
NC State at home in their first scrimmage, 6 p.m. this Friday.
With the minor league baseball season canceled, two former UNC teammates are still trying to keep their big league dreams alive. Josh Connor reports.
It's 9 a.m. in Chapel Hill, and Ryan Miller beginning workout for the he's an hour in the cage, followed by in the Miller will be halfway through the minor season. But Miami Marlins expect is the thousands of minors headlines. COVID canceled their season.
Yeah, we checked Twitter to see what was going on. Somehow the media members knew before the players did.
For Miller, the cancellation of the entire minor league season came as a disappointing blow, as he believed he was going to get the call up to AAA this year, just one level below the big leagues.
And being a guy, a AA player like that's just wanting a shot and an opportunity, it gets frustrating. Like, you just want these guys to figure it out so you can get something going and maybe have some sort of shot. But this is a year if everything went well, I expected to do in the major leagues. That really stinks.
2 hours east in Wilmington, Ashton McGee faces the same struggles as his former UNC teammate. 3 months ago, he had his bags packed, ready to go to Glendale, Arizona, to start his first full year in the minors. That was before receiving the news that his flight was postponed and would eventually be canceled. Now he's training for what he says will be the next big move in his route to the majors.
I just told myself you just got to keep working and continue to get better until the next time you show your face there in the organization. At the end of the day, you got to perform, and it's a business, so you just got to do what you can do to put your best abilities out there and show that what you can do.
For the infielder, that means sharing the local batting cage in Wilmington with college players and youth baseball teams. Conditions aren't ideal, but it's better than some of his teammates are dealing with right now.
Miller and McGee have played baseball all their entire lives. There's no Sundays off or free days during the week. Their time has been spent here, baseball field, working towards their dream to become a professional baseball player.
Those are valuable reps that, 140-game minor league season, you don't get back. And so that's definitely something you got to think about is, the prime physical shape of life, waste your element. Are they that going to? I don't think anyone knows.
If all goes according to plan, the minor league system should play a full season starting next spring. In Chapel Hill, I'm Josh Connor reporting.
Aaron, how about that sweep against Syracuse this weekend? I just hope they can keep it up against Charlotte on Saturday. What do you think?
Kirsten, it was so fun to actually watch a football game. And then I'm really hoping they can pull that momentum into playing Charlotte on Saturday. So I think we have a good chance, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on Saturday.
I think so too. We'll have to see. But that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching and stay safe, everyone.